Eighth graders, this is an instructional video to help you as you create your immigration stories for history class. During this project, you're going to need to use the same computer for the entire project. So you have the liberty to bring in your own laptops from home if that's something you'd like to do. Of course, we have laptops at school that we will also let you use. But very important, you will have to use the same laptop every day, so be sure that you remember the number, and when you save things, be sure to always save with your name. Other students will also be using the laptop that you use at school. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to create this in iMovie, is we're going to open up iMovie and we are going to come up to File and we're going to say a new project. And when I name this project, I want to be sure to include my name. I'm going to put my last name and immigration story. Now we'll leave everything else as it appears. We are not doing a project theme. We won't be doing a trailer. This is optional. I like to select automatically add cross dissolve. Between each one of my photos, the transition will be a cross dissolve. If I don't want that, I can deselect it and I can put different transitions in. But you can also change this once you've started your movie. So I'm going to go ahead and create. And as you see up here, this is my work area. So to start a new project, I'm going to select video or photos. Now your photos all should be edited before you bring them to school. And when you bring them to school, if you're using a school laptop, you will put all of your photos into iMovie, into iPhoto in an album. Be sure the album is not called Immigration, but it's called your name. Because remember, possibly 3 other students will be using the same laptop, the same iPhoto software. So if all 4 of you put Immigration for an album, you're not going to know who's whose. So be sure to label everything with your name. The same with saving. Always save as to that yellow folder on the desktop for screen captures. Be sure it is saved with your name on it. So what I'm going to do now that I have my photos are in an album in iPhoto, I can come over here to the camera, and when I click, I'm going to go to iPhoto. You can see I'm in iPhoto, and I am going to come down to my albums, and I'm going to find something called, let's see here, we're going to use Cleanup. So all of the pictures that I want to use are in this album, and I've actually put them in the order that I want to use them. Since I've done that, I can select them all, and I'm going to grab them and just drag them to my workspace. Notice I have 22 still pictures that they are loading, and they're going to be in the order from which they were in iPhoto. So what I can do now is to add a title to my movie. I have, this by the way is the transition. So you see a photo, a transition, photo, a transition. If I would start to play the movie, I can click down here and you can see over here my movie is going to have a cross dissolve transition and go to the next picture. But what I really want to do is to put a title in my movie. All right, so to put a title in, you click on this T. You can select any of these formats. I'm going to go ahead and click this one. And what you do is to drag it to where you want the title to go. I want it first, so I'm going to drag it to the beginning of my movie. After I drag it, I can now put a title in. I can change the appearance of it. I'm just going to go ahead and use this bluish color. And you want to type your... Now again, we don't want our last name anywhere in here. So if I would type Fortman Family Story, we're going to know my last name. And some of these are going to be shared in other venues, and because of that, Menlo has a policy where we can't associate names and images. So I'm just going to say My Family Immigration Story. Okay? And I can put a subtitle there. Actually, what I'm going to put here is my name with my last initial in case there are 2 Nancys, And I'm going to go ahead also and put February, the date, okay? And you can change that to make it look however you want. You can change the fonts, you can change the size. I'm just going to say done. So now at the beginning of my movie, I have a title, which clearly is important. Some other things that you can do, I keep hitting full screen, some other things you can do is there's a little gear notice by my title, by the transition, by the photos. When you click on that gear, you have options. So here I have an option to adjust the clip or the video, but we don't have video right now. You can, it had Ken Burns, which is that motion. You can adjust that if you'd like. If I would click on the wheel over by my title, I also have the option to change the length. So I can actually change the length of how long I want my title to play. So just know that there's all kinds of options that you have. If you click on the gears, you're going to see those. All right, the next thing I want to do is to add some background music. So I'm going to click on the music here, and I have brought in a song that I want to use. I burned it on a CD and brought it to school and put it into an iTunes playlist. So now I'm going to try to find my iTunes playlist here. And let me see, I've got a lot in here. Here it is. Okay, so I'm going to take this song and I'm going to drag it to the beginning because I want it to be playing in the background. So now if I play. Won't you clean up? Won't you clean up? Won't you? Okay, so I have music going in the background, but I certainly don't want that music to be so loud that it's going to take away from the rest of what I am speaking. So that's something you also have to do, is to make sure that you adjust the volume so it's not too loud. For example, what we're going to do next is to record our voice to actually read our story. So when I click on the microphone, notice it says to record, click a clip where you want to begin. I'm going to start it on this clip. Get ready. Get ready. Boys and girls, we are experiencing a problem on this campus. We need everybody's help. We need to clean up our trash. So when you're done, you also select the microphone. So now if I go back and play this, let's play from there. Won't you clean up? Whoa, oh, oh, oh. Everybody clean up. Clean up your... Boys and girls, we are experiencing a problem on this campus. We need everybody's help. We need to clean up our trash. Now notice how the volume automatically went down in the background when the microphone went on, so that's a good thing. If I wanted this to start earlier, I can drag it. If I wanted to adjust that audio volume, if it was too loud, I can bring it down a little bit. So note that you have all of those options. I have the same option with the background music. I can take this audio adjustment and I can make it a little bit softer in the background. So those are the things that you will take some time with to make it, it's really important. One of the biggest problems we have are that students get all excited about music in the background and it's entirely too loud. We cannot hear the voice. So when you are using the microphone, speak out, speak clearly, slowly, and make it loud enough so that we can hear it over the background music. So I'm almost done here. I've got all my images in, I've got my music, my script recorded, I have my transitions, but at the end of the movie I should also include a credit card. So let's go back to the cards, which are the T's, and you can scroll down and there are some, you know, a lot of people like this particular one. We can use this. I want this, I'll drag it to my work area at the end. All right, and I think I used blue, so let's make it consistent. So what I can do now is I can select and I can type whatever it is I want to type. Maybe I want to thank Oma and Opa for helping me. I can show the fonts. And I can change the size of the fonts. I can change the alignment of the font. So you have all those options. And this is going to be in thank yous. All right. So again, just to see that, if we're done, we're going to click done. So you can see that is entirely too fast. So we'll come to this gear and we're going to, whoops, we're going to go to the clip adjustments, and where it says 3 seconds, we're going to make it 12 seconds. All right, and see what happens now. It stretches. So you have the idea there then that you are able to make some adjustments to the length of things as well. So we're all finished, completely done. Now what we want to do is to share this to turn it in. So obviously when you saved it, it's on the computer. But we're now going to go up to the share menu and we are going to say export using QuickTime. That's very important. All right? And when you do that, again, be sure your name's on it. You're going to save it on the desktop. You will have the yellow screen capture folder, and you will go ahead and export. And this does take a few minutes to do, so give it the time to do it. You can't do it in the last minute of class, okay? This is going to take about 5 minutes, you can see. So basically, this is how you do it. You can find some other special features in iTunes, in iMovie that you're welcome to use. If you need any help, please come to clubs Tuesday, Thursday. I'm also in the lab in the morning, so if you're here early, you can do that. Remember, edit all of your pictures before you bring them to school. Remember that any music you bring in needs to be burned as a music file on a CD. And also rehearse your script. So when you're at school and you're recording, you don't have to keep stopping and starting over again. So rehearse it, speak slowly and loudly. Enjoy this project. It's great fun, and I think you're really going to enjoy what you see when everybody else has finished to view each other's. Thank you.